Okay, I promised it. Here it is. Here's the moment you guys have been waiting for. Here is my Once Upon a Child haul. And I actually just recently got some toys off of a friend too. So we're going to do kind of two hauls. So for Once Upon a Child, it was $200 originally, and then one of the toys was on clearance, and then I had a $10 off coupon, I think it was. So it, after all that, it was $177 with taxes included. And then the stuff I got off my friend was rough. I think for the toy part, it was 25 bucks, $25. The Once Upon a Child stuff still has tags on it, but I'm gonna move this down here actually. One second. Whoa. Stuff that has the Once Upon a Child stuff still has tags on it, so I'll tell you how much all that costs individually. The stuff I got from my friend, some of it was a bundle, and then some of it doesn't have tags. So just, I'll tell you what I got from her, and that, just know all of that was $25. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, I feel like if you're not thrifting toys and kids stuff, then you're missing out because it's expensive. Pretty much everything I got from Once Upon a Child, I would say, is super educational, like marketed as educational toys. The stuff I got from my friend, I still believe, I pretty much think, I believe that play is learning, so I pretty much think that any toy we can make educational and we can encourage learning through, but I wouldn't call them learning toys as much. So first things first, this is the thing my son picked out. It was $10 at Once Upon a Child, and it actually, one of the mirrors is broke on the tractor. See, it's on this side but not on that side. Did not think it was worth it at all. I would not have willingly paid $10 for it, but it was the only thing that he really wanted. We went to a local store we have, and it's like an equipment store, and they have a lot of toy tractors, and every time we go there he plays with them, and I had been planning on getting him one from there. I just wanted to pick one that wasn't a choking hazard, because there was 8 of them, and some of them were for older kids and a choking hazard, and so I didn't want him with me because the ones he wanted, some of them were choking hazard. So I just wanted to pick a good one for him for his age, but we hadn't done that yet. So I figured, well, here's a tractor he can play with. He has small ones, but this is the only bigger tractor he has, and we live very close to farms, and he actually sees people in tractors a lot, so he got super excited when he saw this, and I think that's a great connection, and I think we can play with it. I actually really like the wheels. The wheels are feel like real wheels, so we can definitely have play a day at the farm with it. We can play Old MacDonald and stuff with it. We can make it learning, but I don't think it was worth $10. So that was probably one of my more less worth it things. We got a good bit of these puzzles, and it's funny because they sell these puzzles brand new, and then they sell the puzzles someone has brought them to them and sold them to them, but a lot of times they're new in the wrapper too. This was $6.50, and they had it on the shelf too, brand new. This was on the used shelf, but it is new. It's never been used. Brand new, it was, I think, $12.50, and this was $6.50, so half price. It's a musical one, and he loves Wheels on the Bus, so that was a no-brainer. We do have a ton of those little puzzles though, so probably going to be holding off buying those for a while. And I'll just, if I can find all the puzzles, this one has the cat. He tore it out in the store. I hope it got in here. I'm sure it did. But this one was also $6.50, and it was right around 10 or 12 in the store too. So half price again. Most of the stuff that I found was half price. And honestly, that tractor was probably half price too. I just feel I don't know, people around here sell toys like that, and you'll see it actually in my friend's stuff for a good bit cheaper, and I just felt like I could get that cheaper. But So I'll talk about the toys a little bit. This one, he loves the smaller pegs, and he loves like the more detailed one, which is great for eyes, sight, vision. But he definitely doesn't have as much of the fine motor skills to get them in. Although I will say these are like more simple shapes. This one's just a circle. Some of the puzzles, like he has the Miss Rachel puzzle, and it like has a bunny, so it's definitely more complicated. But this is a rectangle, this is a rectangle, this is a rectangle, this is a circle. This one's slightly more complicated, and then there's like two squares that go together. So they work on more fine motor than like their finer motor than some of the other puzzles, but they still are pretty simple shapes. So he could put like the rectangle in backwards and stuff. This has the more complex shape. It has the shape of a dog, so it's only going to go in one way, but it has the bigger knobs, so it's going to be easier for him to handle. So these are two puzzles, but two different levels. Oh, here's the cat. I don't know if you guys haven't heard of Lovery. I would check them out. Not at all affiliated with them, but I really like their stuff. I don't get their subscriptions because they're like $200, and I feel like a lot of the stuff in it like wouldn't always be useful, but anytime I find it used, I usually buy it. This was $6.50, and it's a object permanence box. Put the ball in it. Jay-Z, my dog, is licking the thing where my thing is, and then now there probably was like several, like a square one, a round one, all of that with the thing. So disappointing that I only have this one, but he is really into opening and closing stuff. He's got the object permanence thing for a while, but I think he'll like the opening and closing it. So I got that. Quickly, here is another puzzle. Again, bigger knobs. There's something different to look at. This one's nursery rhymes. I believe it's like 10 nursery rhymes they recommend your kid to know before they enter kindergarten. Nursery rhymes help a lot with memory. They help with repetition. They help, you know, the rhyming, the sounds, all of the things. Nursery rhymes, that's why they're so popular. I feel like it's one of those things that's like an older thing and we're like, eh, but that's why they're so popular, is because they help with a lot of different stuff for young kids. So that's why I got that one, was mostly because it did a lot of classic nursery rhymes. He wanted this one in the store. He liked this one. I would have liked it a little better if the animals were a little more realistic, because until they're 3, they have trouble distinguishing between like what's real and what's not. But I did like that, like the animals is the puzzle piece, so he can maneuver the whole puzzle piece rather than having to block. So that's kind of a different skill he's working on than the other puzzles too. So these are things that I'm thinking about every time we're buying toys, is what's it going to do for him. This one was, he loves this at like play places we go to. It's definitely too old for him, but he doesn't know that. And it definitely works on fine motor. It's magnets. So there's some stem in there, and it was $5.50. So, and these are normally, I think, around 10, 15 bucks too. So not a bad buy. Again, the animals are not realistic, but this was the only like magnet one they have there. And he's been liking these for a while. And I just have not been willing to pay like $15 new for one. So this thing I am so excited about. Give me 1 second. I want to show you something. So, well, I'll show you in a second. So this thing, I have actually been looking for this. I make a list of toys that I want, or skills that I feel like we don't have enough toys for to work on. And those are more like my buy toys, because I try not to just go on a big haul and buy $200 worth of toys. And just so happened that there was a lot of buy toys at the Once Upon a Child this time. This thing, it's Melissa and Doug. He absolutely loves it. I'm pretty sure got it used somewhere too, but I think it's kind of expensive. I think it runs like $40. I think they went on sale around Christmas, but I think normally it's like upwards of 40. But you put it's like a little coin thing, and you put it in all these slots, and different stuff happens. Well, this thing, we do a toy rotation. That thing has never been put away for a toy rotation because he plays with it constantly. If I would put that away, he would be disappointed. I would say pretty much every day he plays with it for 20 minutes. And I found this one. I was so excited. It looks brand new because this is like very scuffed up and everything. That's the older one. And this is the one. So it looks like this child didn't play with it at all, which, like, just to get on a rant, a lot of times if you find your kid not playing with a toy, sometimes it's just not going to be the right toy for a kid. But this one's definitely more complicated than that one. A lot of times if you would start out with something like this, they're going to be intimidated with it. They're not going to understand it. They're not going to really play with it or use it because it's so what we call that in my educational field is you're going above their frustration level. So you have you have below a kid's level where like they already know that stuff. Let's say the kid is doing multiplication. They already know addition. If you're giving them simple addition worksheets, it's going to be way too easy for them. If you're giving them multiplication that they already know as well, they're not really, they're not going to learn anything new because they already know that. But if you start giving them division, if you start giving them word problems with multiplication, then they're learning something. But if you give them like division of fractions or something, division of decimals that they don't know, they're not even going to attempt it, right? If you give something to a kid that's just a little bit harder than what they can do, they're going to try to do it. They want to learn to do it. I believe kids inherently want to figure stuff out. They want to learn stuff. But if it's way too hard, it's not at all in their wheelhouse, then they're not going to do it. My hair is doing a little weird thing. And if it's way too easy, then they're like, this is boring, right? You get bored with it. So I personally would guess that this was given to a kid who had never saw something like this, the simpler version, and they had no clue really what to do with it. They couldn't figure it out and they lost interest. That would be my guess. Could be wrong. But it was $15. They range around $35. They're a little bit cheaper than the other one, I think. But it's going to involve a lot more balancing from him, which he has a little fire truck that kind of has something similar where he has to balance to put the people in, and he really likes that. And there's a little teeter-totter, and there's a little swing. So it's going to involve a lot more coordination and balance. I'm honestly not sure he's ready for it still, but I think I'm going to introduce it in the next week or two, watch how he interacts with it, and then go from there. But I know he's going to love it. Like, whenever it is appropriate for him, he will love it. So if he doesn't like it right away, we'll put it away. It's totally fine. Next was another Lovery toy. So again, Lovery is, a lot of educational stuff. Melissa and Doug is a lot of educational stuff. The one thing I hate about Once Upon a Child is they put the stuff in these bags, so I can't see exactly what was in this, but I could kind of get the vibe. It's going to be practicing zippers and snaps, and this is actually a button. So that's all good for fine motors. That's like, once I finish, like once Franklin grows out of this and gets like bored with it, I'll be giving this to an occupational therapist that I used to work with, because it's great skills. These are like going to be your early skills for a kid learning to get dressed. They need to learn to, buckle this for different things. They need to learn buttons. They need to learn snaps. They need to learn zippers, laces. So, and this is just like a very accessible way you can kind of learn all of those things. And I think he'll think it's fun because it's kind of like wacky. So that, it was $6.50, I believe. Yeah, $6.50, which I felt like was just a little bit like high in my opinion for that bag. But I also feel like I could kind of make something similar because I can sew. So I think that's why I was like, I was really hoping, I couldn't see inside the bag, but I was hoping there was some more like things that he could manipulate, but there's not. This is probably going to be too old for him right now. He's been interested in zippers, so that's part of the reason I got it. He's probably going to be able to manipulate the zipper, probably going to be interested in that, and maybe like this bigger buckle. But as he gets older, then we'll introduce the lace, which like you can lace it through these little loops, and we'll introduce the button and the snap. So not every toy is going to be something that, and even if it says like 2 to 3 or whatever, even if it's your kid's age, doesn't mean they're going to be into it. So you introduce it, you see how it goes, and then maybe take it away for a little bit, introduce it again, or maybe they're already past it, and then you just list it on Facebook Marketplace. This is one of the green toys. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're on Amazon. They're supposed to be like I think it's BPA free, and I don't know what all. It's just supposed to be like definitely lead free and stuff that's like good toys. I like them. Honestly, my son doesn't get into them very much. I like them because like all the safety stuff, but he was really into this one when he saw it in the store, and I think he's going to like some of the toys like this. The scoop doesn't work very well because it's so delicate, but this one is a little sturdier. It was $4.50. Honestly, again, I felt like it was a little high. I feel like this like $3 would be more worth it, but he liked it, and like I said, that and like the tractor was the only two things he wanted. So a lot of the stuff, like the puzzles he does get into, but like a lot of the stuff in the store that are the more educational side, he doesn't exactly know what it is, especially in these bags. So when I say he doesn't want it, like he's not like grabbing for it, but when he sees the tractor, he's like, that's a tractor, I know what it is. But when I play with him with it, he's going to want it and be interested and enjoy it. I want to get into like some different play methods, some different things like that. We're going to talk some monastery. We're going to talk Waldorf. We're going to talk just like your kids' natural, what they're into, that kind of thing. I won't have enough time in this video, but we're going to get more into play theories and things like that. This is a lacing toy. Again, this is too old for him. This is, whenever they're learning to tie their shoes. I just know I had something similar whenever I taught at Boys and Girls Club. I taught like younger kids, first grade, second grade, and kids that couldn't tie their shoes. This was like something we would work on when we had extra time, and I will say, whatever toy I had probably taught like 30 kids to tie their shoes in the time that I worked there. So it was awesome. It wasn't as fancy as this, actually. The one I had was a lot simpler. I think this is pretty cool. And again, this will be going to my local school occupational therapist when Franklin's done, because again, this is a great accessible thing that can help kids learn to tie their shoes. This you probably saw before. It was $12. I think again it was about half price. They run about $30. But we have a local ice cream store and they have toys out, and I honestly never would have thought he really would have got into this because he's not super into play food. He's slowly starting to go into the imagination play, so he's getting a little more into it, but he will set up the ice cream place and play with this thing for hours, so that's why I got it. It is there's definitely fine motor. If I can even, like, there's magnets in it, and then, so it's a good fine motor. Definitely do some imagination play with it. It's, I think, all supposed to fit in this little box, but I will just say it definitely doesn't. But I'm gonna leave this out for him tomorrow morning, and he's gonna be so excited about this one. I know that. All right, that is all of bag 1. Another Lovery toy. I'm going to try to go through these really fast because I don't want to go over like 30 minutes. Another Lovery toy. This has different ways that you take these off. Definitely going to be, he's been super into stacking, but I definitely going to be too difficult for him right now, way over frustration level. So that's going to be put away. I'm thinking closer to 2 years old is when we'll introduce that. But it's nice made, and it was $10.50, so I think that was a good buy. This, I think it's one of those kiwi cow things, which is another little, like, kind of like the Lovery boxes, another little, like, subscription box. This is mainly why I bought it. It's $10.50. I feel like this is like a puzzle, but big size. If that makes sense. It actually, again, I couldn't look at it in the store, but I could tell there was different shapes in it. So that's, I thought that was, there was a lot like we could do for fitting them in, which is going to be fine motor and gross motor, because this is, you know, bigger. And yeah, I thought there was a lot we could do with it. Also has a dice that has like different collars on it, which can definitely be used to go with this. But being a teacher, I know that dice is just, can be very useful for lots of things. So we'll probably be using that for other stuff. There's cards that have fruit on it. We can definitely play matching with that. I enjoy that they look realistic, which goes into the monastery thing. And there's little round dots as well, which I don't know. That's my Beagle doing her Beagle stuff. I don't know what the round dots are for. I don't really know. I'm guessing I can, it says Panda Crate on it, so I'm guessing I can look it up somewhere and find more. I would say this is going to be more closer to 2 years old, like 18 months, but we'll see. I can, that's, to me, looks very adaptable. This was more for my husband for Valentine's Day. He likes to hunt. He particularly likes to duck hunt. This is on like a little Roomba. And then it's, you know, you aim at the duck. It does have 2, but my son, this is definitely too old for my son, but hopefully it's something that'll last for a while and he'll eventually get to play with him with it. It was $7.50, so cute little thing. This was on clearance. It was $7, so it was half off. It was normally 10 or normally 15. My son's super into Mega Blocks, and it's just a bunch of Mega Blocks, but it's more like, so we have like a lot of like just the regular Mega Blocks, but it's got like more of like this stuff. It's got more and like people to put on it. And I think it might be Coco Melon. That looks like Coco Melon. But I think he'll just be able to build some more interesting things with it. So sounds like a Pop-It. That'll go out tonight. And I definitely want to have paid $15 for it, but for $7, I felt like that wasn't a bad buy. Again, it's working on building, creativity. This, I've been wanting a ball in a cup game thing for a while. It's a scoop. You scoop the ball, you put it in a cup. So you're working on holding a spoon properly. You're working on pouring a cup without making a huge mess, you know, because you don't have to use liquid. And you're working on transferring. That's a big one with this toy. So I've been wanting it for a while. They are a little bit smaller than I would have liked, but we'll see how my son likes them. We got a couple books, which were $2.50 and $3.50. They were animal books. The farm one I liked because real pictures. And this one I liked because, again, realistic animals. This one's touch and feel, so he's super into touch and feel, and he's super into like flat books right now too. This was not what I thought it was, I don't think. It's brain building cards, questions, puzzles, games. I plan to homeschool him. He's only he's a little over a year, but I'm planning on homeschooling, and this is preschool, and so I felt like it was just something that would be good for, you know, like a quick activity kind of thing, like mom needs a break kind of thing. But it doesn't look as good as I thought it was in the store. Like, it's very small pictures and things like that, so a lot of words. Like, I don't know if that's going to work for pre-K, but we'll see. If not, I kind of thought it might give me, because I used to use games sometimes as like an idea for a lesson plan, so I thought it might give me some ideas for stuff, if nothing else. It was $8.50. Didn't really think that was worth it once I realized what it was, especially. And I think this is our last thing, and that's everything from Once Upon a Child for $175. So let me know in the comments, do you think this was worth it or not? This was our last thing from Once Upon a Child. It's Levery. Again, I couldn't exactly see what it was, but we're going to be starting to work on shapes soon. Kind of already are, but, and so it's shapes, it's outlines. I'm guessing you can make a 3D figure with this somehow. There's those. A puzzle thing. There's scarves, which we actually have these. These ones look, I got ones from Amazon. These are multicolored. The ones I got are single colored, and these definitely feel more like sturdy, better than the ones I got from Amazon. But the ones I got from Amazon, I got like a lot of them for $10. So then there's these are different textures. I'm guessing this is a game. Again, it's probably pretty open-ended, but I will probably make a game out of it, put these on the floor, throw the bean bags at it. I'm guessing it's something like that. But I'll probably even do a thing where it's like we find all the squares in the house and we put it on the square or something like that. So we'll see. I feel like this might be a little bit young for him, but I think I can definitely tailor it for him. So that's everything from Once Upon a Child. In the comments, tell me, was that worth it or not? Or did I spend way too much for what I got? Let me know what you think. Let me know if you ever shopped at Once Upon a Child. This stuff I'm going to quickly go through is the stuff I got off my friend for 25 bucks. This is brand new. It's a tent. He loves to build forts, like blanket forts, so I thought this would be fun. They also have something similar to that at a play place we go to, and he likes it. He already has started playing with this. This was new. I had to take the stuff off of it. I think this, like, individually, it was like $2, but it's dinosaur and trucks, and those are two of his favorite things. This is a boxing set, and then I didn't bring it over, but I also got like a small kid's punching bag. He's a very big kid for his age, and he's really strong, and that's definitely going to be too old because that's for like 3+, and the punching bag probably is 2, but I definitely think we're going to get to the point where we need to like get energy out a lot. So, and then this whole box was like $10, and it was toys. Little hat. It's just like odds and ends. This is actually one of the green toys too, but it's just like odds and ends trucks and stuff. And so this is why I said I don't feel like the tractor was worth it for $10, because I literally got a whole box of toys for $10, which maybe that's not like the norm, but I feel like a lot of times like we get way too many toys, and then like at a yard sale or something we will mark it down pretty cheap just to get rid of it. So all of that was $10. I actually got this blanket. It's a heated blanket off of her too. That was more for me. And then I got this, which I'm pretty excited about, off of her for like $5. I saw them before. I'm thinking of doing like birthday cards in them for him. Maybe pictures I'm thinking of doing something basically that he can open whenever he's older, and like have it either as a memory box. It might be, wow, it's probably, I want to do like a file thing where he has like somewhere to put all of his important files, but this is probably too small. But probably like some kind of memory box kind of thing for him when he's older. So that's everything. I paid $200 for all of this. Some of it I'm like a little bit buyer's remorse. Some of it I feel pretty good about. Either way, I definitely know I would have spent way more in the store buying it brand new. So yeah, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna go through the stuff I got off my friend. I know her. I'm not really worried about sanitizing it. Stuff I got from Once Upon a Child, I will be putting in the dishwasher and wash machine, or wiping it, and then putting it out for him today. So let me know in the comments, are these the kind of toys that you would buy your kid? What kind of toys would your kid play with? And do you think this was worth $200? All right. Thanks for sticking with me this long. Make sure you subscribe below, like the video. It really helps the channel so I can like continue doing this. And I'll be posting more how we play with the toys, more in-depth videos and things like that, as well as just tricks and tips and things that I've learned as a former educator, behavior, speech, reading, basically all the knowledge that I have, I'm going to be sharing. So make sure you subscribe, follow me, like it, whatever you do on the YouTubes, and join me for more. Thanks for listening, guys. In the words of my son, okay, bye.